Hello everyone on YouTube. This is a pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is a pick a card reading from your older self. When I say older self, I mean you when you are old, potentially on your deathbed or nursing home. What your biggest regret will be on your current energy surrounding you, your current direction in life. What will be the biggest regret from your older self? What your older self has to tell you about your biggest regret when you get to their age on your current path. Okay, so it's 3 piles to pick from. You've got this card, pile number 1. Pile number 1, magnetic North Pole. I am flexible but consistent. I am magnetic. I know my purpose. I know my true north. Okay, so that's pile number 1. Pile number 2. You've got Temple of Isis as one. I am open to be mothered. I can be mother. I can heal my relationships and my life. My body is a miracle and I can be healed of imbalance. Pile number 3. Wollambimbi. Mount Warning. I create my own destiny and opportunities. I am humbly eternal. So, everyone, I have read you all 3 cards. If you would like to pause the video, do so now. And pick which pile you would like. Pile 1, 2, 3. So go ahead, pause the video, and we're going to get stuck into the readings. Hello, pile number 1. So this is the card you picked. Magnetic North Pole. I am flexible but consistent. I am magnetic and I know my purpose. I know my true north. Pile number 1. You know the drill. Use your own intuition. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It is a collective reading, or any tarot reading you have. It's the current energies around you at the moment. Your direction, your thought process, things like that. That are the direction you're heading in. Because in life, you do have free will. Life is a bit like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow. Life is like that to an extent. This is if everything on your plan, in the way, the direction you're heading in life, from your older self is letting you know what will be your biggest regret. What is their biggest regret looking back in hindsight? Okay. Let's flip these cards over pile number 1. Ooh. Interesting. Pile number 1. So, you've got rain, purification. Up here. You've also got rainbow blessings. Alright, now with these tarot cards here, this is you in the present. This is the situation. the kind of regret your future self has. This is your future self. So at the moment, pile number 1, 4 of Wands is you. This is celebration. This is the card of celebrating. This is the card of achievement, celebration, good. Celebrating all the good you have in your life. Now, you've got the 8 of Swords. Here. This is the card of being a prison, in being stuck in your own head. The prison you've created around yourself is a mental prison. It's anxiety, it's depression. It's also the little voice in your head saying, you can't trust anyone, you can't do this, you can't do that. What were you thinking? That little voice in your mind just eating away at you. Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is someone who is master. So that's you in your head. This is you as well. Queen of Wands is master of her own destiny. She goes ahead. She just gets things done. She's passionate. She's fiery. She's rambunctious. But she deals with whatever comes her way. So even though you've got this energy of having that little voice constantly in your head, this is also your energy. You just get it done. You're the sort of person that even though you've got that fear in you, you just go for it. And the situations. Now, older self. You got the Strength card here. Strength through kindness. So traditionally, this is like it's funny with this deck. I love this deck, but this deck doesn't really show the Strength card. So if you go to the traditional decks, which I don't use on YouTube because of some of the pictures in those decks, just in case. So the Strength card is traditionally the woman's tamed the lion in a very gentle manner. So she's tamed this powerful beast very gently. She wasn't aggressive in any way. She didn't force the animal. Like here it looks like she's trying to force the tiger with a pill or something. Like she looks like a bit of a you know those Spanish bull people that antagonize the bulls? Yeah, she looks a bit like that, but with the lion. Okay. And you've got this card here. You've got a gratitude and appreciation. You've also got love matters. And cow spirit, the miracles are endless. Okay, pile number 1. A message from your older self that is probably the biggest regret is because of those voices in your mind at you, you couldn't embody this energy. And you probably made a few enemies, and you probably went things about things that were not constructive at building relationships. Like you probably had people around you, but they weren't. You're probably a little ruthless, to say the least, because you're listening to this voice and you've got that Queen of Wands energy, like let's get it done now. It's this constant like go 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 go, and you've got this voice in your head nagging at you, weighing you down. It doesn't give you room to acknowledge the people around you and to build an, I want to say emperor energy, because I get the feeling you're very much a leader, or you're a sole contractor that's very successful. Even though you probably don't feel like it, you won't realize So the biggest regret your older self has. So you got the rain purification. This card and this card is linked. So this energy is good energy, but because it's powered up with this one, it sort of creates a thing. So you got rainbow blessings with this one. So that is a blessing that you do have that energy. This one needs to be tempered down. Well, your older self wishes that they could embody these two energies. That is their biggest regret. They probably look back in hindsight and realize, because you probably won't see it now. But it's not until they look back in hindsight and they're like, oh, I might have been a little bit too rough, or I could have done better, or we could have actually, looking back and thinking, well, maybe if I did things this way, the result would have been a lot better. Even though you have successes in your life, it's like, I think I could have done better if I did this, this, and this, and this, and this. If I appreciated this person more and wasn't so much sort of in this tug of war in my mind, I could have appreciated people better. I could have seen all the things and blessings around me at the time, which I don't really see. I only celebrated the victories. And that was probably the biggest regret your older self has. And wishing that you could show a bit more appreciation, gratitude to the people. Realizing at the time all the miracles happening in your life. Realizing that love does matter. And building better relationships with the people you work with. End result of doing that, and with your energy, with the Queen of Wands energy, you think, I could have been so much of a better leader if I embodied these energies. Everything in hindsight. Pile number one. So, pile number one. That is what your older self wants to pass on the message of looking back in hindsight, their biggest regret. Because you had this energy of being stuck in this mental state. And it was probably like a survival thing too. Like you probably felt trapped as well. Like even though you were getting things done, you probably felt trapped as well in your own mind and being in survival mode. Gotta get this done, or this will happen and this has to be done. And you felt like you had these restraints, but really, whether it's from a lack in the past or being let down or whatever has caused this, you probably look back in hindsight and think, well, I kind of missed out on quite a lot of things, but I had a lot of successes as well. And I didn't show this person appreciated this person or that person, or when this person helped out more. I wish I had been a lot kinder and gentler, but still had that strength. You are definitely a very strong person, pile number one. Okay, pile number one. That is the end of this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could subscribe, like, that'd be fantastic. Moving on to pile number two. Feel free to join. If not, bye. Hello, pile number two. So you picked this gorgeous card. It has Temple of Isis as one. I am open to be mothered. I can mother. I can heal my relationships and my life. My body is a miracle and can be healed of imbalance. Okay. Pile number two. So this reading embodies your current life direction. So this is what your older self wants to tell you the biggest regret is on your current energies and the current direction you're going in. So when I say older self, this is like sort of deathbed regrets, older, nursing home, elderly, that you look back on and think, oh, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that. It's the biggest regret that you'll probably have when you're old, and you finish working, can't work anymore. Okay, flipping these cards over. Oh, this is going to be a good reading, pile number 2. Pile number 1's was good, but this is going to be real good. Pile number 2. Even though it looks like you are in a bad position now, this is a good reading. This is the reading of the start of an epic adventure. Okay, you've got wolf instinct. Mountain strength. Tower. In tarots. So this is you. This is you in the present, the Tower. This is you, what the biggest regrets regarding your older self. Judgment. High Priestess. Your older self, the world. We've also got these beautiful cards at the bottom. Be your best self always. Be gentle with yourself. Horse spirit. Freedom is yours. Okay. Pile number 2. Now, you have got a tower moment at the present. So this is you right now. Big upheaval, massive tower moment. Foundations have been completely destroyed. This is the energies, probably the biggest regret your older self has. You've got Judgment, the Karma card. I'll explain all this in a minute because these ones link. So the wolf instinct is linked to the Judgment. High Priestess and the mountain strength are linked. Now, Judgment is the Karma card. What you have done up until now, whether it's good or bad karma, or especially if it's someone in leadership, this is the thing, like karma's how I'm just discussing it from my point of view of karma. Some people don't get karma, and you probably won't see the karma, even though there are bad people that just don't seem to have it all. Okay, you've got wolf spirit instinct, you've got Judgment. So I get the feeling with the Judgment card, it is a bit of a state of poor me. It's the realization that when you're in this state, your intuition and your instincts are dull because you're too busy in your own head. You've got the mountain, the strength as well. What's your older self's biggest regret looking back in hindsight is how you beat yourself up even when something goes wrong. And it's kind of like, and it dulls your instinct, it dulls your intuition, is what I'm getting. Everything happens for a reason. Pile number 2. You even got horse spirit here. Freedom is yours. Your older self's biggest regret is not realizing your own personal strength and sitting into melancholy when things have gone wrong. The tower moments in your life that happen is to teach you to listen to your internal compass, your instinct, your intuition. Realize how free you are and the strength you have within you to endure hard times, good times, because you've got the mountain strength. Mountains are rugged strength. It's also a karma lesson. It's a lesson in everything you need in life you have within you. No matter the circumstances you are thrown into. You beat yourself up a lot over these situations. You've got to be gentle with yourself. You regret not being more gentle with yourself. And be your best self always, regardless of the situation. Put your best foot forward. I'm guilty of all this too. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm guilty of all this. This is resonating with me quite a bit. But it's also not seeing the silver lining and not seeing that everything is set in stone for you or anyone. And not realizing just how much freedom you have in that. Yes, it's hard, yes, it's rough, but getting in touch with your intuition, with your own personal compass, with your highest self. Even though there will be hard times, it's also, you're already going through a hard time. Why beat yourself up over it and run yourself ragged because of it? Be gentle with yourself. Be steadfast. Yes, it builds character. It does all this. But your older self regrets not realizing all the blessings and freedom you actually had and not seeing it. That is because you've got the world here. It's your older self looking back as well. It's like, gee, I was hard on myself. I didn't realize that the world was truly my oyster. Yes, the finances were tough. Yes, this was tough, but by the same token, damn, I had a good life. Even though at the time I was very melancholy, which dulled my instincts, it dulled my intuition, I did not realize just how strong it was making me. Which means that when I get to a point when I'm older, I get the card like just that energy of being able to, after a tower moment, pick yourself off, dust yourself off and just get back into it. Just that constant strength. Even though I remember being young and thinking about this and thinking, oh God, that sounds horrible and exhausting. Truth is, you should have a lot more pride in yourself and the strength you have within you. You've got this card, Temple of Isis. I'm open to be mothered. I can be mothered. I can heal my relationships. My life, my body is a miracle. I can be healed of imbalance. You have the power within you to do all this. It's not, you may not be a doctor or a nurse or anything, or you might be in the medical field. But it's just a lesson of everything happens for a reason. Just because you've had a tower moment and not realizing and not listening to your intuition, it might not be bad, and people might be like, oh, that's bad karma. No, not necessarily. The karma is happening to make you stronger. It's strengthening you. And there's another saying for people that say, yes, it feels like there are bad people that get away with things. There's a saying that, I don't know if you have it in other countries. Give someone enough rope and they'll hang themselves. let them tie their own noose. In your case, the hardships you faced is not necessarily bad karma. It's the karma that you needed to strengthen and build yourself and to realize what you are capable of. The only prison is in your mind. Yes, we need money to buy things and things that. But if you look hard enough, even in a hard situation, there is always a way out. Always. A solution. So pile number 2. Your biggest regret when you're older is not realizing the character building that was happening and going into when your tower moments, when you were falling flat on your face. It's the real, and not being gentle with yourself, not being more gentle with yourself, and realizing that it was potentially the start of a great adventure to get you in touch with your instincts and intuition. So you could face your shadow self, so you could heal any imbalance. Because you've got the world here, which is also complete balance. The world's your oyster. If you see anything you want that you want, you go for it. You find a way to do it. Okay, pile number 2, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm going to go on to pile number 3 now. You're welcome to join. And please like and subscribe. Alright, bye. Hello, pile number 3. So, you pick this card. Mount Warning, Wallumbimby. I create my own destiny and opportunities. I am humbly eternal. Sorry, I will reread that. I create my own destiny, opportunities. Sorry about that. I had to let the cat in. He was at the door scratching. Okay, so we were up to 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is the card of walking away. This is the position of your older self walking away. You've got Fog Veiled, Bringman Synchronicity, Nightingale, Lovers All Around, and Illumination. Alright, the message your older self has for you, that their biggest regret in life is not walking away from some situations that didn't sit right. Because yes, you've got the 6 of Wands, you've got success cards, you've had success with money, but your biggest regret is there were situations where you think, I think I should have walked away from the situation. Whether it was abuse, this person you're doing business with was a bit iffy, things like that. And also another biggest regret your older self has is not exploring the spirituality, not being in touch with their spirit self, like their soul, or whatever spiritual practice you feel drawn to, not exploring that aspect of yourself. Because you feel like you've got Fog Veiled, and then you've got Green Man Synchronicity. It's as if you feel out of touch with the world around you. And it feels like you're in a bit of a fog, and there's this bit of a regret of not seeking that, like whatever it is you believe, whether you're a Christian, whether you're whatever religious domination you feel drawn to, whether it's just mysticism or shamanism or Muslim or whatever it is. There are so many different religions in the world, but not exploring that aspect of yourself. You also have Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. Your main focus was about success and money. And then you've got like synchronicity, you've got lovers all around, illumination. It's as if you regret, whether you have a partner or don't, like being in love, or just being in love with life and what's around you, and being in touch and being in synchronicity with the world and with your spirit and with your being and with your higher self and everything around you, not exploring that aspect of yourself, not going on this spiritual journey. You're very focused in your life on money and possessions and things like that, that you became out of sync with your own self and the world around you. And you feel as if there were situations that, because you were so out of sync, there were things that were happening around you that you didn't really see, or you brushed it off. Whether you're doing with someone, business with someone who was a bit dodgy, whether they were abusive, whether they had traits that you just think, if I met this person, you could have acted like you were friends with this person, but all in all, if it came to, if you were in one of the victim's shoes, or what is this someone that you'd want to spend your time with, or you know what I mean? It's just this energy of, yes, the business eventually did really well with this person, but if I was in this position, would I want this person around me? The answer would probably be no. And because you were so detached from yourself, you were detached from your intuition as well. And because you were so focused on more the material aspects in life, it kind of detached you from your emotions a lot. And you just wish that sometimes in a lot of situations, yes, you're going to have so many victories. You've probably already had a lot of victories and successes financially, all that stuff. You've probably worked your whole life and all that. Or you could have been just someone that was just working non-stop and accumulating a lot of material wealth, that you didn't see all the blessings, you didn't really explore yourself and enjoy your life more and just be in the moment and be in this position where, so you got lovers all around you, not seeing like all the love and all the good things. You're probably in a spot like it was more survival mode, constantly being in the state of work and then rest once you get too exhausted, things like that. So your biggest regret is probably not exploring yourself, your spiritual self, not being in sync with the world around you, not enjoying the time off you did have, and not walking away from things that sort of, because you were detached from yourself, like there were things that you look back on when you're old and you just think, oh, I should have walked away from that person. I should have just this person makes my skin crawl. I probably didn't see it, and I was more focused on money and material and victories that this person makes my skin crawl is what I'm getting. And you feel like you've missed out on a lot of your life because you didn't get to enjoy it. Okay, pile number 3, that is your reading. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed your reading, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.